This conference will now be recorded.
Good morning. Good morning, guys. I hope my voice is clear and my screen is visible. Okay, so yes, sir. So by yesterday we learned about how to. So what is a class? How to create it and how to compile it and how to run it. And if I run my class file, what will happen? And how to use my command line arguments. Yes. Okay, so yes, sorry for the interruptions. Okay. Mm, okay, so we are going to learn about some basics of Java language. Sir, what is the basics? What is the basics? So when started to learn other languages, we came across this keyword basics. Sir, what is the basics, sir? And also you said that other modern languages has copied some basics or they consider C as my basic language. So what is the basic? What they consider as a basic? Basic or fundamental? Fundamentals. Yes, I want the exact meaning. What is that fundamental? What is that fundamentals? Or what is that basics? Okay, so right now what we are learning? Right now what we are learning? What we are learning? Actually, this in this course, that is U19203 oops. And currently for the past 1 week, we are learning something. What is that? We started to learn something. What is that? Java. What is Java? What is Java? Huh? Is it object-oriented programming? No. What is Java? Java. What is Java? Java is a C and C++, Java, Python, everything is what? What is it? Programming language. Good. It's a language, correct? Okay, sir. So let's consider that with our languages. So, okay, maybe I should select this. Okay, I can do one thing. I'll just open a notepad. Okay, sir. So if I'm learning a language, see, OOPS is not a language. Object-oriented programming concepts. It is not a language. It is just a concept. It is not a language. It is just a concept. That concept can be implemented in any language. Even in C, we can implement it, but it requires a lot more coding. So that is the way. That is why we are going for C++ and Java, Python, or any Ruby, Rails, Grails, something. So we are going on these modern languages to implement these concepts. Don't ever tell that OOPS language, WOOP language. Don't ever tell that. It is wrong. It is completely wrong. It is just a concept. Yes. Is it clear, Raman? Ramana? Sri Ramana? Yes. Yes, guys. So not only for him, I want you guys, you all to know this. OOPS is just a concept. It's just a concept, and we are using different languages to implement it. The languages which supports class and objects, we are using that language to implement this, to implement these concepts. Yes. Yes, that's it. So OOPS is just a concept. Okay, sir. So language. So we well-known language, like we already know about English. English, Tamil, Hindi, Telugu, Malayalam. We can add any languages like this. Okay, sir. If we started to learn English, from where we started it? Sir, I don't know about English language. So from where I have started this language? Alphabets. Good. So I started from alphabets. Similarly, all programming languages has their alphabets. And what it is called as all programming languages has an alphabets. And what is this alphabets? And these alphabets are called as keywords. 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 Yes, correct. Keywords. Yes, sir. If I want to understand a programming language, or if I want to learn more about this language, or if I want to be get familiar with this language, then I should be familiar with all the keywords in that language. All that language. Yes. So in Java, we have these keywords. So maybe I can show you this. Okay, so yes, so these are the keywords. So in C, normally there will be 32 keywords, but in Java we have little more keywords. So apart from this, there are one more special operators also there. But most of the keywords will be same as my C, but extra we have this like abstract and assert and byte and class, final, finally, and some keywords that are related to my object-oriented concepts, and also some web-based applications keywords. So like that, we'll be having this. Yes. So these are the keywords that are available in Java. Yes. And these are the basics of Java. And we are going to learn something about these basics. So we'll be learning each and every keywords in the upcoming sessions. But as a fundamental, as a starting, we start with this basic data types and conditional operators, and then conditional statements, control statements, and later when we go for OOPS language, and we'll be starting to see some other keywords. So as we can see, most of the keywords are very familiar. See, maybe I can tell all the keywords. So abstract is a keyword when we use for a class or a, okay, so when we implemented a OOPS concept, we'll be using this abstract keyword. So at that time, we'll be learning what is this abstract, so how it is going to be used. Similarly, assert is a keyword. So they have given us triple star. So triple star in the sense, this was added after 1.5. So added after 1.4. So triple star is added after 1.4, and single star is not used. Double star is added after 1.2, and 4-star is added in 5, Java 5. That is 1.5. Yes. Okay, sir. So abstract is a keyword which is mainly used for abstract classes and abstract methods. So when we learn this object-oriented programming concept, we'll be learning this abstract class and interface in detail. Yes, and assert is used to assert a function. It is used to give a test cases for my functions. Yes, and similarly Boolean. What is this Boolean? I hope everyone know this Boolean. What is this Boolean? Good. True or false? Yes, correct. Good, super. It's a data type, correct? Boolean is a data type. So in C, there is no specific data type for Boolean. So for either condition checking like true or false, there is no specific data type. But after C++, they added this data type called bool, B-O-O-L, and in Java, they have named it as Boolean. So that is the keyword they use here. In Java, it is called as Boolean. Similarly, break. What is this break? What is this break? What is this break? Yes, to exit a loop or to close a switch case. Correct? Okay, byte. Yes, byte is also a data type. Byte is also a data type which is used to which is used for very so byte is the data type which consumes very minimum memory. Very minimum memory. Apart from all the data types, byte is the one which will occupy a minimum memory. Yes, we will be seeing about in detail now. Okay, case. So switch cases. We'll be using this in switch cases. And catch. Catch is used to handle my exceptions. Try catch. So at that time, we'll be using this catch to catch my exception. Similarly, character. So character to represent a single character. Class to define a class. And constant. So it is actually right now not it is used. So to achieve constant, we'll be using the static and final keyword. Static and final. By using this both static and final, it tells that it's a constant variable. So this was overwritten by static and final keyword. So right now constant is not used. And also next is continue. Continue is to skip the next line and going back to my increment statement. Yes, so default, switch case default. We'll be using this default statement. If all the cases are failed, then I'll be using this default statement or default condition to execute the statement. Similarly, do is used to execute my loop. So after executing some statements, I'll be checking my condition. So that is my do while. For that, I'll be using this keyword do. Double is a data type which is a long float, Else is to check the condition. If and else. If my condition is true, I'll be executing it. Else, I'll be executing my else part. So that is my else keyword. So enumeration, enum. I hope enum, you all know about this enum, enumeration. So this was added after 1.5, which is very similar to my class. It is also user-defined data type. Enum is also user-defined data type. Similarly, how we'll be creating a structure in C. C also has this enum. Have you all gone through that enumeration? Don't worry, we can see an example for it. Enumeration, if you don't know. Yes. So extends. C also has this extends keyword. What is this extend? What is this extend? Yes, are you there? I'm asking about extend keyword. Extend. Okay, maybe I can explain you when we are going for rules concepts. So extends is used to extend a class, but in C we'll be using this as a what? We'll be using this in a like a variable. To extend a variable we'll be using in C. Okay. So final is states that, so I can use this final keyword in a class, in a method, in a variable, which states that this class or this method or this variable will not change. This is the final implementation or final declaration. So finally, um, um, it's actually like static block. We have this finally block. Finally block. So when we are going for this try catch, we'll be seeing this finally and everything. And float is a data type. Guys, can you able to hear me or not? Can you able to hear me? Guys, are you there? Yes. Yes. So when we are seeing these keywords, what do you think? Is these keywords are new to us? Is these keywords are new to us? Yeah, maybe some keywords may be new, but most of the keywords we are familiar with. Correct? So as for the start, for is for loop. So go to, it is not used right now. Actually, it was implemented with labels. So go to with label and I can go to that label, but it is not used right now. So there is a way, there is a reason why they are marked as a single star. And if for checking my condition, implements, to implement an interface, I'll be using this implement an interface. So import, what is this import? What is this import? I'm going to import a specific package to my class, like adding a library files. Adding a library files to my class. So in C we have used this as include std.io.h. So instead of include, I can use this import. So there is a difference in it. So in C we have used it as an include keyword, but in Java we are using it as an import keyword. Yes? Yes, sir. Is it clear? Can you able to follow me or not? Can you able to follow this or not? Yes, sir. So now you guys tell me. So okay, like I'll be completing this. So instance of is a new keyword that is used in Java, which is used to check what type of or which class object is this. So I'm selecting an object one, and I want to check which class object is this. So if I want to check which class object is, then I can use this instance of keyword, which will return the class name of the object. For example, I'm creating a student S1 and staff S1 and supervisor S1 and manager S1. So I'm having 3 or 4 objects. So object 1, object 2, object 3, object 4. So one is for student, one is for staff, one is for supervisor, another one is for manager. So I'm having a 4 objects and I don't know whose object is going to who. So I don't know whose object is this. So if I want to check whose object is this, then I can use this instance of. So S1 instance of class. Instance of, so for example, S1 is an instance of student. If S1 is an instance of student, then it will return true. If it is not, then it will return false. It will check that whether this object is an instance of the specific class or not. Yes. And int is a data type, is an integer data type. So interface, yes, it is interface is a blueprint of my class. We'll be seeing when we are going for object-oriented concepts. And long, which has 64-bit byte, so which gives me a long memory byte. And native, so native methods. So this will be learning when we are going for AWT or Ajax, sorry, web frameworks. Web frameworks. When we are going for web frameworks and AWT application development, we will be learning about what is native and new keyword. We already seen this new keyword. What is this use of new keyword? What is the use of new keyword? Good. Create memory. Super. allocate memory. And after that, we have seen this. So package. So package is nothing but creating my own package, like creating my own header file, or clubbing all the classes into a single package. Clubbing different classes into a single package, then I can use this package. And private, protected, and public. You know what is private, protected, and public? What are those? Private, protected, and public. So yesterday we have seen it. Private, protected, and public. What is it? Access modifiers. Good. Super, guys. So yesterday we have seen it. So what is the use of private? What is the use of protected? What is the public? So return. So return, it's going to return to my previous function. Either it can return void or it can return a specific value. And short is a short data type. It's also data type. And static. So static is a keyword which is used to access a method without an object. And also we can create a static variable. Yes, we can see, we are going to see about this in this session. And also strict FP. Strict FP is for networking related issues. So we'll be learning when we are creating an application. And super keyword. So super keyword is used to access my super class or super class objects. So it refers to my super class or super class object. So apart from this, we have one more key. So that is called this keyword. I hope this is here. Yeah, it's here. It's here. Sorry, I forgot. Yes, switch to check conditions. So synchronize. It is used to work with threads. So when we are working with threads, then we'll be using the synchronize to sync all the threads. And similarly, this keyword will represent the current object, the current object's class. And super is referred to my super class. That is my previous class or my parent class. So super is going to refer my parent class, and this is going to refer my current object, current specific class. And throw is used to throw an exception. Throws to check an exception. So similarly, transcend, try, void, volatile, while, everything. So transcend is mainly used for networking related issues, and also try to check an exception. So try catch, by be checking an exception by using this try catch. And void, but it tells that I'm not going to return anything. It is also, which represents a null. It is representing a null, but null is also a value which tells that there is no value in it. So that is void. So instead of null, they use this void. And volatile to represent what type of data it is going to store, and from where the data type is going to be changed. So that is the use of volatile. And while is for conditional statements, or sorry, control statements. So these are the keywords that are available in Java. I hope more than 75% of these keywords are familiar for you. Is it true or not? You guys are familiar with 75% of keywords? Yes or no? All the data types, all the conditional and control statements? Yes. And also we have seen about this access modifiers. You all know about this. Is that true or not? Because all these are the keywords which are you familiar with, was taken from C. Actually taken from C. That is the basics that they taken from that language. So now you can understand why C is called the basics of all modern languages. The same is used in C. Same for is used in C. Same goto is used in C. Same break is used in C. Same case is used in C. Correct? Characters used in C. Constant is used in C. Do, default, continue, double, else, enum, long, int, everything. So most of the keywords which we are learning here is taken from C. Apart from that, we have added some more keywords to it. For example, static, class, new, package, private, protected, public, synchronized. So these are the new keywords that we added to my C's keyword, the language C's keyword. So that is the reason why everyone is suggesting you to learn C language first, because if you are able to decrypt or what, if you're able to understand a C program, then it is very easy for you to understand a Python program or a Java program, because the same is going to be used in all these languages. The same if condition is going to be used in in Java, and the same is going to be used in Python. Only thing is, here they will be using brackets. In Python, they will be using tabs or 4 spaces. Correct? This is the basics. This is the basics. As you are telling that, so they have taken basics, basics, basics. These are the basics. This is the basic that was taken from Guys, I'm audible. Hello, hello. Yes, sorry. It shows me that your connection has been lost. Okay, thank you, guys. Thank you. Okay, yes, sir. So we are going to learn a little more details about this language basics. Yes. So that's the reason why I kept the name as language basics, but it is going to be a simple class. Okay. Okay, sir. So what are the things that we are going to do is first we are going to learn about variables and operators, and then expression statements, blocks, and then control flow statements. And I have missed this data types. I have also added this data types. Okay, I have missed this data types. So after variables, we'll be seeing this data types. After that, we're going to see about this operators. Okay. So variables. So in Java, there are four types of variables we have. Four types of variables. That's called instance variable, another one is called class variable, and third one is called local variable. And parameters are nothing but the values that are passed to the function. Yes. So these are the four types of variables that are available in Java. It's very important, guys. Please understand these four types. So I can show you with an example. So for our understanding, what I'm going to do is I'm just using this Eclipse. I hope everyone has installed Eclipse in your systems. Yes, I have. I hope everyone has installed Eclipse in your system, Java and Eclipse in your system. Yes. If not, please install. Please install it. Okay. So first we have to create a new project in it. So I'm just creating a new project. So how to create a new project? File, new Java project. If it is not there, just go for project and select Java project. So Java project. So once you select this, it will ask for the project name. So here I'm giving it as a language basics. Give a proper naming. So whenever you are starting to use it, try to use with the proper naming. Okay. So for what we are going to use this project. So maybe I can give it as a language basics one. So after that, I'm clicking on next. Guys, it's very important. You should know how to create an object. see here. So after this 1.9, they added this as a module. So a number of packages. So this was added after 1.9. So right now we don't want these modules, so I'm not going to use it. So create module.info.java, it is not going to be used. So I'm just unchecking this. If you check with this, then a package will be automatically created and a bin folder will be created, which will hold all your project details. So for our practice, so we don't want this module info. Okay, so module info.java. So this is not required. And this module.info is mainly used to integrate with modern languages like AngularJS or REST API or anything. We can add it with this modules. So everyone is having this. Right. I don't want this. We don't want this right now. So whenever you are creating a project, don't select this module.info. So module-info.java, it is not required for us. Is that clear? Is that clear? It is very, very important, guys. So that is the reason I'm telling you clearly. You should not use this. Right now, it is not used. It is not needed. So later we can add it. So when we are going for project development or project implementation, then we can use this model. Yes, but right now, don't. I hope everyone is clear with this. Yes. So finished. So once finished, a project will be created here and a source folder will be there and the source folder will be there. Yes. Okay, sir. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create a class in it. So right click on the source, right click on the source and name, sorry, new. I'm going to create a class, correct? So first I'm going to create a class. By default, it will be empty. It will be a default package. For practice sessions, we can use this default packages. But for projects or for developing a new thing, this project should be given a proper name, like whatever may be. So for example, I'm going to learn Java basics, then Java.basics. So this should be the package name. So all the language basics should be comes into the specific package. It is best practice to start using with a package name. It is best practice to start with a package name, but for our convenience, we can either use or by default there will be a default package. So all the classes will be arranged in this default package. So right now I'm going to just create with. Okay, I'm just creating this class name as basics. So basics Java. So like that, I'm giving the name. I'm just giving the name as basics Java, and followed by it is a public class. Yes, it is a public class because anyone can access this. So this because this is going to be a first class, it should not be like abstract or final or anything. It's just a public. Yes. And after that, this class is going to hold this public static void main string args. I can select this. Or no issues. We cannot skip. We can skip this, and we can write our own code. But IDE has integrated all these necessary things into this platform, so it makes us easy to write the code easily. So once we click on finish, it will automatically create a class. So as you can see here, this is inside my default package. Inside the default package, I have this basics java.java. Yes. So this is how we can create a Java file inside my IDE by using Eclipse. So mostly here on out, I'll be explaining all the concepts with an example. So for that, you need to know how this Eclipse works and how to create a project in it. Yes, sir. Yes, is that clear? Is anyone having any doubts in it? How to create a project in Eclipse? How to create a project in Eclipse? Is anyone having any doubts in it? I hope everyone is familiar with this, but it is best understand this. If you have any doubts, you can ask me now. Okay, shall I continue with this? Yes, is everyone is clear with this? Is everyone is clear with this? Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So right now we have seeing about this variable. So we have 4 variables: one is instance variables, class variables. Sir, what is the difference between instance variables and class variables, sir? So for that, I'm going to create a new class. So new class, and this class is not going to be my main class. I'm just going to keep this inside my default package. So I'm just giving the class name as student. I'm just going to give the class name as student, and this is not going to be my main class. So I'm just giving it as it is and just finish. So once creating this student class will be created. So inside my student class, I'm just giving the I'm just creating a student's object. So that is going to be int roll number. See guys, so there is a specific naming convention that is used in Java. Every class name should start with the capital letter. You can see here, every class name will always start with the capital letter. It is very, very mandatory. If you have two words like student, student world, if you have a two words like this, then the class name should be the first letter of that first word. That should be in capital, and the second word's first letter, that is going to be W, should be in capital. So this is a naming convention that is strictly followed in Java. If you are creating a class, then you should strictly follow this naming convention. Sir, if I created a small letter, it will not work. This will work, but that is not the programming standard. Yes, but that is not a programming standard. If I create a class name with a small letter, else it will work. Programming standard. Yes, as we are learning a language, we should learn in a proper grammar. So consider this naming convention as a grammar for that language. Yes, if we use the grammar wrongly, then the entire word of that or entire meaning of that sentence will go wrong. Okay, guys, I hope my network is keep on disconnecting. I don't know why. Okay, let's continue. I hope you can see my screen. Yes. Yes, yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Okay, so these are the naming conventions that is strictly followed in Java. Okay, sir. So here I'm giving it as a roll number and followed by string. So string name. So if I have only one word, then the first character can be small, and followed by I can have string department and string college. String college. Okay, so I'm just keeping this everything as a string except the roll number. So I can also keep this roll number as a string because in our college we are using a string because 19 CS or 20 CS like that we are using a roll number that is also going to be a string. Maybe I can use the same format here. String roll number. Yes. Yes, guys. So I'm just going to create a method for this to get and to set variables. So for that I'm just going to create appropriate methods. So right now I'm just using this default ID functions to create my functions. So in IDE, we have these options like source. Inside the source, we'll be having this generate getters and setters. You'll be having an option called generate getters and setters, which is mainly used to create getters and setters. So for whom I'm going to create for college, department name and roll number. This will create the college name. Yes, so department, so get department and department. Get department will get the department. Set department will set the department. Yes, so this is what it is going to do. Yes. Okay, sir. So I'm just going to generate this. I'm just using the default function that is available in IDE. So later I will explain. So when we are going to learn about encapsulation, we will be seeing this. What is this getters and what is setters? So right now we know what is this. So how I'm going to get the roll number and set the roll numbers here. And also I'm just going to create a constructor here. Generate constructors using fields. Generate. So I just created a constructor here. Okay, so this is a constructor. So the constructors are in the name of my class. The same method in the name of my class is called a constructor. And constructor, I hope you know this constructor. What is this constructor? This constructor is mainly used to create the memory. So this is the constructors which will align what type of data are used in my class and how can be used or how much memory should be created for it. So this was given by this, how it is going to be used. Yes. Okay, why it is coming like this? Okay, I have given it a capital, so I'm just changing it as small. Okay, similarly I have to change for college all the changes. Inside my method or inside my class, inside my class, these are called my instance variables. Instance variables. So instance variables, the variables which are present inside my class outside of my method. So these variables are called my instance variable. Yes, instance variables. Do you all know what is this instance variable right now? A variable that is present inside my class but not inside my any method. Not inside my any method. The variables that are present inside my class are called my instance variable. And for each object, this instance variable will create their own memory for each objects. For example, if I'm going to create n number of student objects. So in my basics, okay, just I'm saving this class, and here I'm going to create student S1, that is equal to new student of, so just giving the roll number, so 20 CS001, and followed by name. So followed by name. So actually here I have used this roll number, name, department, and college. So this is what I'm using here. So I'm just going to use the same. So first roll number followed by name and followed by department. So department is going to be CSE, and college. So college is going to be ACC. So by this, I have created one student, correct? So now what happens? The memory will be created for each variable. Is it Correct or wrong? For roll number, I'll be creating a new memory. For roll number, I'll be creating a new memory. For name, I'll be creating a new memory. For department, I'll be creating a new memory. For college, I'll be creating a new memory. Yes or no? Yes. For each variable, when an object is created, a memory will be allocated for it, for each object. So if I'm going to create a new object, so if I'm going to create a new object for student, so I'm just saving here and I'm going to create a new object. So this is going to be S2. S2. So whenever I create a new object, and the memory will be again created as a new. So now, even though the values inside the object is going to be same, the memory will be created again. Correct or wrong? And Babu, CSC, and SEC. Yes, so now S1 holds 4 memories. So these are called my instance variables. The memory which are created for each object is called instance variable. Can you all understand what is my instance variable? Yes, instance variable. Instance variables. So these are called my instance variable. Okay, sir. Now, sir, now I'm going to optimize this, sir. So the college name will not going to be changed for all the students. Correct or wrong? This college name will not be changed for all the students. Correct? The college name is going to be common for all the students in my college. So why do I want to create a college name for all those things, for all the objects? Why can't I create a single memory and I can refer it to the all the objects? Can I do that? Can you able to understand my scenario? Sir, college name is going to be common for all the students in my college. So why do I want to create new memory for each time? So why don't I create this as a static? Why don't I create this as a static? If I create this as a static, then what happens? If I created a variable like this, then this is called as class variable. And the memory will be created only once. Memory will be created only once. It will not keep on creating new memory for each object. It will not create memory for each object. Okay, maybe I can explain you with this Excel. Okay, so okay, so consider this as my roll number, name, and department and college. So this is for a single object. Okay. Okay, sir. So this is how a normal student will be created. A normal student object will be created. If I create a variable like this, student S1. Now what happens is, now student S1 equal to new student of my roll number and every text. So everything what I'm going to give here is going to be stored in here. So what happens is the same memory will be created. So this is going to be created as, this is going to be S1. S1 will hold starting address. So maybe consider this as 1000X. Now this 1000X starting address will be stored Okay. Okay, guys, is it audible? Is it audible? Guys, I'm audible. My voice is clear. Yes. So this is called instance variable. Each time for each object, whenever I create a new object, all the variables will be created again, and this is called my instance instance variables. So why do I want to create a new object for all the college names? So why don't I keep it as a common? So now what I'm going to do is I'm just changing this as a static variable. So now what happens is the memory will not be created for all these objects. So what happens is college will be created. So this will be created at a common location. Like college is going to be SCCE. Like this, it will be created. And sorry. Okay, sorry. Okay, so here what happens is, so it will be created at some location 500x, and for each object COLLEG, for each object only the reference will be marked. It will not create a new memory for it. In each object, the only the reference will be marked to it. So this is called class variable. Even though I am creating n number of objects, whatever may be the object, it may be of 1,000 objects or 4,000 objects or lakhs of objects. The memory for college will be created only once, and the reference address will be marked to each object. Just the reference address. 500x will be marked to each object. It will not create a new memory for it. Can you all able to understand it? So this is called class variable. This is called class variable. So can you now understand the difference between instance variable and a class variable? Can you able to understand the difference between a class variable and an instance variable? Guys, can you all able to understand the difference between a class variable and a local variable? Sorry, instance variable. Yes, is anyone having any doubts in it? Because it is very important when you are facing an MCQ based questions. So class variable and instance variable are plays a major role in it. Yes, sir. So class variables and instance variables, they are covered. So now the next is going to be a local variable. So local variable in the sense it is only for that local, it is only available for that local method, or the variables that are created inside this method is called my local variable. See, for example, in student, sorry, in basics, in Java, basic Java, this s1 is a local variable that is present inside my main method, correct? So this s1 can be accessed anywhere in this inside this main method, correct? So this is called local variable. So this is called local variable, yes or no? So that is called local variable. The variable that is created inside a method is called a local variable. And parameters are the values that are passed to another function. So for example, here, these are the values, these are nothing but an arguments that is passed to a function called student, correct? So this student is a constructor. For this, I am passing these values to it. So when I come to the student class, it has these variables. So these are called my parameters. So string roll number is a parameter to get the roll number. String name is called as is a parameter. It's going to get the name from the user. String department. So this is a local variable which is only for function to get the values from my function call. These are called my parameters. Yes. So I have three Actually, majorly we call this as a three types of variables. One is instance variable, another one is a class variable, another one is a local variable. These are the major three parts, and parameters are going to be same as my local variables, because only inside this student method I can use this, or I can access these methods. This is very similar to my local variable. So this is also called my local variable, but since it is used as a function call, it is used inside my function call, it is called as a parameter. That is the only difference here. Yes. Now you know about what is this, what are the types of variables here, what are the types of variables here, and how they are used. Instance variable, class variable, local variable, and parameters. Is that clear, guys? Is that clear? Guys, is this clear or not? Can you able to understand the types of variables here? Guys, anyone having any doubts on it? Variables. No doubts. Come on, guys. I'm expecting a response from you. Guys, if you have any doubts on these variables, can you all able to understand these types of variables? Okay, so how can I create a variable? So there are some certain specific rules for it. So one is all variables are case sensitive. As I mentioned, the first character will be in small, and the second word's first character will be in capital. So it is a case sensitive. And variables can begin with dollar and underscore. It can begin with dollar and underscore. The variables which are automatically created will be created with this dollar symbol. The variables which are automatically created will be created with dollar symbol, but it is not used right now. It is not used right now, but better for your understanding, you know this. Yes, a variable can start with a dollar sign, and also it can start with an underscore. In C, underscore alone is allowed. In C, underscore allowed is allowed, but in Java, we can also start with a dollar symbol. And white space is not permitted inside my variable. Like if I have a roll number, then roll space number is not allowed. That is not permitted here. So similarly, subsequent characters can be letters, digits, dollar signs, or underscore characters. That is, it can start with the first character can be a dollar or underscore or a alphabet. First character should be in any one of this. After this, the following characters should be a number or a digit or a dollar sign or an underscore. It can be of anything. Yes. So these are some naming conventions that are used in Java for variables. So next is my Java language keywords. I have already explained you what is this keywords. So now I'm going for data types. So these are the data types. So normally data types in Java is split into two things. One is numeric data type, another one is a string data types or character data types. You can tell it as a character sequence. So numeric data type. So in that numeric data type, I have all these numeric data types. So there is bytes, short, int, long, float, and double. everything comes inside my numeric data type. So bytes memory is going to be 8 bits. It is a signed value. Short is a 16-bit memory. It is a signed value. Similarly, int is a 32-bit value, which is a signed value. Long is a 64-bit value. It's a signed value. So all this, or in spite of any type of system, all will follow the same memory management, because this memory is going to be aligned by JVM. It's going to be aligned by JVM. Similarly, the size of my float is going to be 32-bit and double is going to be 64-bit. Yes. So this is a memory aligned for each variables or each data type in Java. Because in C, for each system, this memory management will change from system to system. But in now the latest after C99, this was standardized. After C99, this was standardized. But in Java, initially this was started with this. While they creating it, they define this numeric with specific data type, specific memory. So each memory will be, all the memory will be using the same things. Okay, sir. So after this, we have one more type called Boolean. So Boolean has only two types, only two values, only two possible values, what is going to be true or false. So due to this, there is no specific memory has been given for Boolean data type. There is no specific memory has been given for Boolean data type. So after this, I have two more things. There is going to be a character sequence or a string. There is going to be a character and string. So here, character is a primitive data type which occupies 16-bit Unicode character. So starting from 0 to, so go to F, 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 F. So that is the maximum value. It is going to be a signed bit. Sorry, 16-bit. It's going to occupy a 16-bit memory. 16-bit memory in the sense that it's going to be occupied 2 bytes. 8-bit at 1. 8-bit is 1 byte, 16-bit is going to 2 byte, so 32-bit is going to be 3 bytes, and 64-bits is, sorry, 64-bits is going to be a 8 bytes, 8 bytes, 8 bytes. So 1, 2, 4, 8 bytes. Similarly, float is going to occupy 4 bytes, and double is going to occupy 8 bytes. So this is the memory that has been given in Java. Yes. Similarly, for character, it is going to occupy 2 bytes of memory. There is going to be 16-bit value. And string is a special support, is a special data type. It is going to be a class. Actually, it is a class. It is a class in Java, but they are considering it as a special data type. Special data type which supports all this character sequence. Yes. So these are the data types that are available in Java. Is that clear, guys? These are all the data types that are present in Java. Is that clear? Guys, is this clear? Yes, sir. Okay, sir. So only 2 to 3 more slides. Okay, no issues. I hope it is already time. So I'm just stopping here. We can continue in the next session. I was thought to finish this by today. If you have any doubts, you can ask me now. Guys, if you have any doubts, you can ask me now. Or else we can wind up the session. No doubts? Okay, bro. Thank you all. Thank you for joining the session. So let's see in the next session. Thank you all. If you have any doubts, you can ping me. Thank you.